right now.
Well, right now, police in Minneapolis are reporting that 2 children, ages 8 and 10, were shot and killed, and 17 others were injured at the Annunciation Catholic School. Now, of the 17 people injured, 14 were children. Police have also confirmed that the shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, this all happened during a morning mass when police say that the shooter fired a rifle through the church windows towards the children in the pews. Now, less than an hour ago, the Minneapolis police chief stated in a press conference, quote, "This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension," end quote. Now, the police chief also said that the shooter was in his 20s and that in their initial investigation had no criminal history. So this is the first week of classes at that Catholic school with kids there from kinder through 8th grades. Now, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said he was briefed on the incident, calling it a horrific act of violence. Well, back here in San Antonio, here's a live look on the city's south side. San Antonio police are investigating a couple of suspected ATM robberies. So here's a look at the situation unfolding right now on Southwest Military Drive near Pleasanton Road. And here's another look at when it happened earlier this morning around 10:45 a.m. So police tell us that Wells Fargo employees, possibly contractors, were working at an open drive-through ATM when 3 men dressed in black got out of a dark-colored Jeep Cherokee and surprised the workers from behind. Now, they got away with canisters filled with money. We are told that no one was hurt, and police say that the suspects may have been involved in another robbery that happened earlier this morning. We will keep you posted on this developing story.
All right, outside your live cam, we have got a few pop-up downpours out there, even as we speak right now through parts of Bexar County. We're going to have a small chance for rain for the rest of the day, but we're all focusing on the Labor Day weekend forecast. So I want to show you the authority radar as you are getting ready to enjoy your afternoon. As you can see, again, a few pop-up downpours, especially out east toward Gonzales, Hallettsville, Cuero. But there was one shower, and I can zoom into this neighborhood here right there along 35 near Live Oak. So some folks around San Antonio getting a light rain shower. We're going to call it about a 20% chance for your afternoon commute. It is still going to be hot, 95, but feeling more like 100. And again, a small 20% chance for a stray shower. Rain chances increase over the Labor Day weekend. Notice that Saturday and Sunday we have a 30 to 40% chance, but hot off the presses, we have lowered rain chances on Labor Day itself. I'll tell you the reason why coming up in just a bit. Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, talking about the Hill Country now, where is the money going? KSAT reported last week that the Community Foundation for the Texas Hill Country pledged $40 million for housing survivors of the flood. And our Courtney Friedman was there for that press conference where the governor joined, and today she is back in Kerrville getting more details on where that housing money will go. Courtney.
Yeah, we told the foundation after the press conference last week that we wanted to come back and get some more details about how these millions of dollars are going to be used. So they invited us here to Kerrville to their foundation for some exclusive interviews on the topic. $40 million was pledged for people who lost their homes during the flood, as well as people whose homes were damaged. That assessment was done by a committee of experts on housing who have come together to volunteer to figure out the needs of the community. All of that funding comes from people all over the world who have donated. This is a long-term effort. While $40 million, though, is a lot of money, the foundation is prepared to use more if necessary.
We have 5 different strategies. One is temporary housing, one is home repair, one is home rebuild, one is helping people who live in an RV repair or rebuild their RV, and also down payment assistance for people who are not interested in rebuilding.
The foundation's CEO, Austin Dixon, says a ton of work has gone into how the money will be sectioned out. And coming up in our later shows, we will also be speaking to Airbnb's foundation nonprofit CEO about what they are doing for flood survivors. They've already housed hundreds of them since July 4th, but they also just got a community foundation grant for $1.6 million, and we'll be breaking down how they will be spending that money. But for now, we're in Kerrville. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Well, new at noon, the child that was hospitalized after being hit by a truck on the city's west side has died. That's according to San Antonio police. Now, that crash happened yesterday evening on Amirez Place near West Commerce Street. Police say that boy was riding a toy down a driveway when a red Ford F-150 hit him. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition where he later died. Now, police say that the driver is not facing criminal charges right now as he remained on the scene and rendered aid. The boy was just 6 years old. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says it busted an illegal gambling operation yesterday. Deputies detained 22 people at a business in a strip mall near South Cross and South Gevers. Now inside, investigators found dozens of 8-liner machines. Now those machines themselves are not illegal in Texas. What is illegal is handing out cash to the winners. Now Sheriff Javier Salazar says 4 of the people detained actually worked there and they could be facing charges. Well, weeks after failing to release all the records related to the Robb Elementary massacre, Uvalde CISD released new documents yesterday. Our KSAT Investigates team received thousands more emails related to the 2022 Robb Elementary School massacre in Uvalde, Texas, and we have an in-depth look on our website, but here's the findings at a glance. Now first, there's a draft of a press release that the school district spokesperson put together days after the May 24 shooting. It didn't go out to students and families, but it was sent to district leaders on May 27th, detailing the response to the shooting and the ongoing investigation. Second, the school district's attorneys got involved quickly after the tragedy. They helped craft statements on behalf of Pete Arredondo and the district's then superintendent. Finally, the new records contain an email from the Uvalde High School vice principal referencing the issues that some of the victims' families were facing after the shooting. Now, our team is still looking through all of these documents. We expect more documents over the next few days. We don't know exactly when we will receive them, but we do know those documents will not include new video. You can find a deeper dive into all of them on our website, KSAT.com. Well, iconic San Antonio landmarks are changing hands. The Crockett and Minger hotels have new owners now. How the Texas General Land Office's multi-million-dollar plan could transfer your next visit to this historic site. And there's a new way neighbors in Seguin can start to get that high-paying, in-demand jobs without going to a four-year university. So the trade school on its way to town coming up next. Well, new college is set to come to Seguin, expected to help thousands get well-paying, high-demand jobs without having to go to a four-year university. Our Devin Karp explains the importance behind training for trade work like welding and HVAC and the benefits it's expected to bring to this growing Texas city.
So this is it, right?
This is it. This is the future of Seguin.
And it's a future that's looking big. The city says on average, 7 people are moving here every day.
Seguin makes up almost 14% of the total manufacturing jobs in the entire San Antonio region. So we're a major player in this endeavor, and we work really hard to make sure this comes to fruition.
That's what's turning this land from a cornfield to college campuses like this one in Guadalupe, Comal County.
This is actually a new program that we're going to be running here this fall.
This is Texas State Technical College, an institution that focuses on giving people manufacturing and trade certifications and degrees in 2 years or less.
We work solely with industry. We reverse engineer everything from industry. So we look at what industry actually needs. We look at what their jobs are, what those skills are, and then we actually build our programs around what those needs are.
They've got programs in welding, HVAC, building construction, engineering, automation, and more. All with a guarantee that if you don't get a job offer 6 months after graduating, you get your money back.
That's really setting folks up for success for occupations that are going to be in high demand and pay high wages.
The Seguin EDC secured this 133-acre patch of land that will soon be the home of TSTC's next campus, expected to be up and running with the first bell ringing in 3 to 5 years.
And most importantly, it's critical for the success of our residents and future residents that will ultimately call Seguin home.
Officials say they hope to give people a different kind of path to success, one that doesn't have to involve massive student loan debt.
You know, we're relatively a poor community, but that trend has been changing over the last 5 years significantly.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thanks, Devin. And tuition can vary from program to program at the technical colleges, but the cost can range from anywhere from $5,000 or less to around $15,000. You can visit our website, KSAT.com, for that full breakdown. The city of San Antonio wrapping up the last of its 11 budget town halls this week, so ahead of a final vote next month. And the final one is happening tonight, so up at the Urban Ecology Center. This is at Phil Hardberger Park West. So City Council will vote to adopt a budget in. Now, these community meetings are a chance for the comments and questions, or even just getting more information. Well, the Crockett and Minger Hotels, iconic San Antonio landmarks overlooking the Alamo, have new owners now. So now the Texas General Land Office announced that it has purchased both hotels as part of the larger Alamo plan, a multi-million-dollar renovation project for the Alamo and the surrounding area. A Texas land commissioner says that this move will enhance the visitor experience. The San Antonio Business Journal reporting that the hotels were last valued at a combined $55 million.
It is a warm afternoon for us. We're already at 87 degrees. There have been a couple of pop-up downpours, though, in eastern Bexar County and now in Comal County. I think that's indicative of what we can expect for the rest of the afternoon. Just 1 or 2 stray showers. Otherwise, it is going to be hot. Take a look at temperatures. It's 87 in San Antonio, but 90 already in New Braunfels, 91 in Pleasanton. All right, we have got pollen count. Thankfully, molds have really fallen. Yesterday and the day before they were high. Now they're low at 420. The aquifer, no change to the aquifer over the last 24 hours. We do have an opportunity for rain, but it comes over Labor Day weekend. That's what I'm going to start with coming up after the break.
Just in case you were wondering, retirement life is really good. Hey, Spree, congratulations on 30, that was it? Just 30 years? May I remind you, 39. Got a ways to go, buddy. Hey, on a serious note, though, you packed a ton in those 30 years, a lot to be proud of. The thing I'm going to remember most, though, is even when I was a sports reporter and I moved over to news, I learned early on that I had to keep my IFB in my ear when I tossed back to you, because there was going to be a smart aleck comment, there was going to be a funny comment, and there was going to be some not so funny comments. No pun intended. We'll keep a tea time open for you. Congratulations and good luck.
Well, how often are people actually using VIA's park and ride facility in Stone Oak? So 5 years ago, KSAT Explains looked at the ridership. So between June of 2018 to February of 2020, VIA buses carried passengers 275,000 times from that facility. So a driver who passes by the garage during his commute reached out to us this summer, and he wanted to know how much ridership has changed since then.
Nearly every day I would drive past here, and I would regularly, look over to the side and see this very large building behind us, and it appeared mostly empty.
Well, KSAT Investigates Daniela Ibarra looked into how many people are using it, and today on the Night Beat, what VIA says it is doing to bring more people aboard.
Steph, you got any plans for Labor Day weekend?
Well, not outside.
Oh, yeah, it is going to be a little warm, but there's also a chance for rain. And I think Labor Day itself is actually going to shake up to be a really nice day. So a bit of a weather change for us. Yeah, I know we were looking at the possibility for rain on Labor Day, but instead I think Saturday, Sunday is when we could see some rain.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
Maybe make some plans outdoors then, Steph.
Here and there.
Yeah, Saturday 30% chance, Sunday 40% chance. So this is not going to be a washout situation by any means, but smaller rain chances because of a front that is going to be moving through. And I think that front is what's going to set up a pretty nice Labor Day itself. Right now, we've only got a 10% chance for rain. That's mainly in the morning. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about that front. By about Saturday, that front is going to be in North Texas, and it's going to be moving south, and it's going to be moving slowly. So along that front, I do think we'll have a few downpours with higher coverage across West Texas and East Texas, but we're going to be kind of sitting right in between that here in San Antonio. By Sunday, that front will be through the area, and by Monday, well south of San Antonio. And so on Monday, what we're actually going to see is we're going to see some drier air filtering in from the north. That's going to set up pretty nice conditions for Labor Day itself. So looking at your Labor Day weekend preview, 30% chance on Saturday, high of 96. That front will try to move through by Sunday, allowing for a few showers and storms, but a high temperature of only 92. And then on Labor Day itself, how does 90 sound for the high? A lot of people are going to struggle to get out of the 80s on Monday. And we'll have lower humidity too. So it is going to be a pretty nice Labor Day itself. So what do you need to know Saturday through Monday? Saturday and Sunday, there's a rain chance, but it will not be a washout. So do not cancel your plans. Instead, have a backup indoor option just in case. If you're going to be floating the river, on one of our lakes, out by the pool, if you hear thunder, have a chance to duck inside just in case you happen upon one of those showers and storms. Any impact would be that outdoor activities could be briefly interrupted, and perhaps there could even be some minor street flooding issues. And again, that's Saturday and Sunday, because Monday, Labor Day itself, is shaping up to be a nice day with low humidity and not nearly as hot as it could be on Labor Day. So that's what we're thinking so far. Continue to check back in with us, because that front is going to be, I bet the timing of that front is going to have to be adjusted a little bit. And the timing of the front being adjusted means that rain chances will be adjusted as well. Take a look at rain right now. We have had some rain across Comal County, just south of Spring Branch and the Guadalupe River there. We've also had an isolated shower out near Schertz and Selma. And really most of the concentration of the rain right now is out near Hallettsville, Cuero, Edna, Victoria. There's some flashes of lightning. Otherwise, it is a warm afternoon. We're at 87. We'll probably see temperatures rise by another 5 to 10 degrees by the time the day is over. 84 in Del Rio, 90 in Cotulla, 92 in Beeville. So in your KSAT 12-hour forecast this afternoon, just a small chance for a spotty shower. Then we'll be looking at temperatures falling to near 80 degrees by midnight, very similar to the last several days. And then tomorrow, Pigskin Classic. I'll have a forecast for you here in just a bit for the Pigskin Classic, but know that it is going to be hot tomorrow and Friday, near 100 degrees before we see that front moving through. And Stephanie, I got a little sad when I put Spreester's last day on the forecast there. We're going to miss him, but we're very happy for him, and we've got tributes for Steve all day long.
Yes, we're going to miss him, and it's going to be a difficult last day of work, I think. He's got, you know, a lot of emotion coming in today.
We're a KSAT family, that's for sure.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, speaking of the Pigskin Classic, though, Clark High School's football team is making waves this season, but their passion goes far beyond the field. After the break, KSAT's Japhanie Gray talks with two siblings who are dedicated to making a difference both on and off the gridiron.
Hey Steve, I'm coming to you live from the South Side just to tell you that you are a true San Antonio gem. Thank you so much for your years of service, all the wonderful storytelling, connecting our communities, and never forgetting our South San Antonio area. It's been a pleasure working with you. I wish you well on your next venture, and don't forget to visit us on the South Side.
Well, the football spirit at Clark High School is one of the best this season, but this school is also passionate beyond the gridiron about service to others. And our Japhanie Gray sat down with a brother and sister Cougar who say they hope to leave an impact on and off the field.
I love Clark, I love being here, I love all my friends. So I say like what drives me is just staying with my community and uplifting each other and helping leave Clark better than I found it.
What is this Interact Club?
You know, it's just a way for students to get volunteer hours and to help the campus, to put service above themselves.
What are some of the things that you guys have participated in?
We like to do tissues for teachers, which is a great way to, you know, keep our campus nice and clean, nice and healthy. We also write them cards. We want to bring support to our campus, so that's a big thing. Also, we do campus cleanups where we walk around the school, help our janitors. You know, we want to keep this place as great as possible. And then outside of school, we like to do Sock It to Cancer, which is where we collect fuzzy socks for our patients at the START Center and then hand deliver them. This year we really want to focus on, like you said, the incoming freshmen. So we really want to promote that this is for all grade levels. Everyone can come out and help.
When people come out to the Clark High School game, Cougars, they see them on the field, but also they see what you guys represent. What is something that you want the audience to walk away with knowing?
Our school is our home.
We're a school that works hard in every aspect, you know, in our sports, in our academics, extracurriculars, just everything.
Well, the KSAT Pigskin Classic, again, happening tomorrow evening. We will be live from Ferris Stadium, beginning at 6:30 in the evening for a pregame show before that kickoff with Sotomayor and Clark, and that's at 7. And this will be all live on KSAT 12 and streamed live on KSAT Plus, so the Big Game Coverage app and KSAT.com. Well, right now we are taking a live look at Minnesota. This is a children's hospital where some of the children who were injured in the shooting this morning are being treated. Now, police are reporting at this hour that 2 children, ages 8 and 10, were shot and killed, and 17 others were injured at the Annunciation Catholic School. Now, of the 17 people injured, 14 were children. Police have also confirmed that the shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This all happened during morning mass when police say the shooter fired a rifle through the church windows towards the children in the pews. Now, the police chief said that the shooter is in his 20s and that in their initial investigation had no criminal history. This is the first week of classes at that Catholic school, with the students ranging from kinder through 8th grade.
Outside, we are looking at a hot day, and just a reminder that Pigskin Classic tomorrow, Clark versus Sotomayor, and any football games tomorrow and Friday are going to be very hot. Tomorrow we're going to be close to 100 degrees. Field temperature will be higher than that. Take a look at your Pigskin Classic forecast. We'll be seeing temperatures in the evening hours, not too bad, but still, again, this is one of those things where at the start of the football season you are going to want to use extra caution and precaution just because of how hot it will be tomorrow. And that 100 is going to feel a little bit hotter than what the thermometer actually reads. So we've got some downpours, some patchy rain out to the east here near Hallettsville, Gonzales, and Cuero. But even in San Antonio, there's a couple of spotty downpours that are starting to move through, especially east of 281. Wetmore, Madison High School, we're seeing one isolated shower there pushing north towards 1604. For the rest of the day today, it's a 20% chance that you could see rain in your backyard. Otherwise, high temperatures fairly average, near 95 degrees. Believe it or not, though, on Labor Day, the forecast is coming into clearer picture. We may struggle to get out of the 80s on Labor Day. I'm going to have those details for you coming up in a bit. Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. We look forward to it. Well, some families in Kerrville have a tough choice to make, and that's whether they'll be able to afford health insurance. Now, firefighters, police officers, and city workers in Kerrville are being told that their health insurance is increasing by more than $300 a month. So to be clear, this has nothing to do with last month's floods. It has to do with their health insurance provider. So the city says that Blue Cross Blue Shield raised rates by 17.7%, and the city cannot absorb that cost without cutting services or staff. So workers are on the hook, and during a meeting last night, they made it clear they are not happy.
During the July 4th flood, they showed up without hesitation, working around the clock, and now they face higher health care costs on top of stagnant wages.
Well, that was one of 14 community members who spoke at last night's city council meeting in Kerrville. Families have until October 1st to enroll in the health care plan. Well, meanwhile, just before the city council meeting, Kerrville city officials said that more than 500,000 cubic yards of debris have been collected, and that's enough to fill 40 football fields. In your health headlines, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality is investigating this yellowish looking water that some people in the Spring Branch area say is coming out of their pipes. Now, while the water does not look appealing, the Texas Water Company, which is the area's water supplier, told people it is safe to drink. So we emailed the water company and they responded saying, quote, all primary health related parameters, including color, chromium, copper, dissolved iron, and total iron, are within EPA and TCEQ limits, end quote. So we asked the TCEQ about that specifically, and they emailed us the following statement. which says, quote, an on-site investigation was conducted on August 14th, 2025. The investigation is currently ongoing and additional information will be available upon approval of the report, end quote. Well, cases of flesh-eating bacteria are surging along our coasts and the danger is spreading. How to protect yourself this summer and what to do if you think you're at risk. Sharks may soon have to change the way they eat, all because of changing ocean waters. A new study reveals how rising acidity is damaging shark teeth and what that means for marine life. Well, some sharks may have to learn how to nibble their food in the future. A new study finds that water with an increased level of acid can cause problems for shark teeth. So researchers at Heinrich Heine University studied 600 shark teeth that were naturally shed and placed them in water with different pH levels. So more damage was discovered on the teeth placed in water with a higher acidic level. Researchers say that this could eventually result in changes in the way sharks digest food. Now, in the midst of higher carbon emissions, seawater has become more acidic, and there's been a 30% rise over the past 2 centuries. And according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which could affect many ocean species and ecosystems. And cases of flesh-eating bacteria are on the rise. That's according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. These dangerous bacteria love warm coastal waters, and especially where fresh water mixes with the sea. So something called brackish waters. So you can catch this infection when contaminated water gets into your body through a cut or an open sore. It can also happen if you eat raw or uncooked seafood that has been contaminated. So this used to be a problem mainly along the Gulf Coast, but the CDC says that cases along the East Coast have jumped by 800% from 1998 to 2018. And with warmer waters moving north because of climate change, the risk is spreading. About 1 in 5 people who get this infection do not survive. So it is important to be careful. So if you have a cut and you plan to swim or handle seafood, make sure to keep it clean and to keep it covered. And if you start to feel sick after exposure, do not wait and see a doctor right away. Well, obesity affects nearly 1 in 5 kids and teens in the U.S., and new medications could help millions. However, many are struggling to get them. So today we're taking a closer look at why access to these meds is so tough and what that means for families. So here's ABC News' Melissa Adon with the details.
Nearly 20% of children and adolescents are affected by obesity, according to the CDC. That's why finding effective tools to help matters more than ever. GLP-1s are medications that can help tackle serious weight-related health problems. Researchers are now suggesting giving them early before weight problems develop into lifelong issues. Nearly 17 million U.S. teens and young adults are eligible for GLP-1 medications, and most qualify because of obesity. But access is a major hurdle. About 1 in 5 eligible young adults are uninsured, and many others are on plans that don't cover these medications. And almost 1/3 of young adults don't have a regular place they get health care. Researchers say expanding insurance coverage could make a big difference, as well as helping more kids and young adults get treatment early and reduce the risk for serious long-term disease. If you believe your child could be a candidate for weight loss medications, talk to your pediatrician. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Adon.
All right, so we've been talking about flesh-eating bacteria and lots of depressing things. So I want to start with some positive news.
Yes.
Molds are down. They are no longer high. The last couple of days they were very high, so this is good to know. All right, aquifer. No change in the aquifer. That's not so great. And in fact, we're about 30 feet below the monthly average. But we do have increasing rain chances. It comes over Labor Day weekend, but we've been able to adjust the forecast and pretty much take away rain chances on Labor Day itself. I'll have the details on this front coming up in a bit.
Congratulations, Steve, on an incredible career. You were a fantastic journalist, and I want to thank you as a friend, as a citizen of San Antonio, but also as mayor, for putting your heart and soul into all the stories that you told us, for being fair, and for being an example of a compassionate San Antonian. We are all grateful for you telling the story and shining the light on homelessness over the last couple of decades, helping us to improve our city for everyone in it. So thank you. Congratulations on your new adventures. I look forward to staying in touch and watching what you'll do next. I know you'll do great things. Thank you, Steve.
Well, summer is winding down now, and millions of Americans are rushing to squeeze in one last trip this Labor Day weekend. The TSA expects to screen over 17 million passengers, with nearly 3 million flying on Friday alone. So travel experts recommend avoiding that Friday takeoff or Monday returns to skip the crowds. Now, while the flights and cruises are popular, AAA says many will hit the road to beaches or national parks, and to beat traffic, leave early. Gas prices are expected to stay lower than last year, making road trips more affordable. And if you haven't made plans, last-minute flight deals are rare. However, hotels and rental cars still offer savings. No matter how you travel, there's still time to make the most of your Labor Day weekend. And speaking of traveling, Frontier Airlines is expanding this winter with 20 brand new routes, and the new flights will connect cities like Detroit, Houston, Baltimore, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Frontier says it's aiming to become the country's biggest budget airline. So this expansion comes as rival Spirit Airlines faces ongoing challenges after emerging from bankruptcy. Well, space exploration just took a giant leap forward, and last night Elon Musk's SpaceX launched the world's largest rocket, Starship, successfully completing a crucial test flight that brings us closer to returning to the moon and reaching Mars. So here's ABC's Sophie Flay with the latest.
For once, the explosions were a reason to celebrate. After a string of fiery setbacks for SpaceX's flagship spacecraft, Starship finally pulling off a successful test flight. The world's most powerful rocket launching from Texas after 2 scrubbed attempts earlier this week. Starship making it safely to space, where it successfully launched fake satellites out of a side hatch. Then, a scary moment. Cameras capturing an explosion near the engine bay as the ship began its re-entry.
That's not what we want to see.
But Starship persevering. The spacecraft making a controlled landing burn before a fiery splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Pretty much everything going to plan. SpaceX saying it was using the test to push the vehicle to its extremes. It's a much-needed win for Elon Musk's company. The last 3 test flights ended prematurely. In June, a Starship exploding on the launch pad during an engine test. In March, an explosion rained debris down over the Caribbean. With billions of dollars at stake and a new space race against China brewing, a lot is riding on Starship.
Each launch is about learning more and more about what's needed to make life multiplanetary and to improve Starship to the point where it can be taking ultimately hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to Mars.
But Starship's first stop is a bit closer than that. NASA's acting administrator Sean Duffy writing overnight, Flight 10's success paves the way for the Starship human landing system that will bring American astronauts back to the moon.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Well, NASA has a nearly $3 billion contract with SpaceX to bring astronauts to the moon as soon as 2027.
Did you know?
You're brave. You would do this.
I don't know if I would, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I'm going to
good.
keep my feet on the ground.
Okay, me too.
But here's the thing. Moon has no atmosphere, obviously, but Mars has an atmosphere.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
It is. It is.
It's a little bit less than 1/100th of thickness of our atmosphere, but it's enough of an atmosphere to where it's got winds, it's got weather systems, but because the atmosphere is so thin, at your feet it could be like 90 degrees, and at your head it could be like 32.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Just if you want to keep warm, you just get closer to the ground.
Just lay flat on the ground. Never mind the lack of air pressure.
Yeah, slither everywhere.
Hey, speaking of weather, we do have some rain out there right now in spots. We are seeing a few spotty downpours down near Hallettsville, Cuero, Victoria, LaGrange, Gonzales. This is where the rain is more concentrated at the moment. But we have seen a couple of spotty showers even around San Antonio. You're going to have to squint to see them, though, or I'm going to have to zoom in. So why don't we do that? We'll look on the northeast side of town, right along 1604 and 35 there. Universal City. I love our radar technology here at KSAT because we can zoom into street views. Let's get some of these street names. There's Topper Wine. And then here we've got Meadowland. If you live on Meadowland, Close to Universal City, you are seeing some of these showers right now. Now, for the rest of the day, we're going to have a small 20% chance for an isolated downpour, just like what we're seeing out there right now. 95 for the high. And then tonight, temperatures are going to fall into the 80s. But let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. Labor Day weekend. We're going to be hot the next couple of days, 99 Thursday, 100 on Friday, but take a look at Labor Day weekend. We see temperatures take a plummet. We are going to be near 90 degrees for the high on Monday, Labor Day. That is it. Now, the reason for that is we have got a cool front in the forecast. Now, Saturday and Sunday, there is a chance for rain, only 30 to 40% coverage. So we're not talking about a washout by any means. That front will move through either sometime on Saturday or very early on Sunday. And that's going to allow for us to have lower humidity and nice weather on Monday. It is going to be a pretty nice Labor Day itself. So if you have outdoor plans on Monday, you're not likely going to see any rain whatsoever, and you're going to be enjoying some lower humidity. It'll feel great in the shade. Let's take a look at the futurecast. There's that front. This is Saturday. You can see the potential for it to move through early on Saturday or early on Sunday, bringing with it some of the rain. And then by Monday, we're going to be north of that front and enjoying some drier air. Now, how much rain could we see? It does look like the most amount of rainfall is going to fall across West Texas and East Texas. And that I-35 corridor across Texas is going to have the least amount of rain. That does include Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, and College Station. But here for San Antonio, we also have the chance for not a lot of rain. We're talking at most maybe about half an inch of rain in spots. And that's particularly challenging for us because we are one of the bullseyes in Texas that is still in drought. In fact, exceptional drought for southern Medina County, extreme drought for San Antonio and Bexar County. And my friends, it has been 3.5 years of continual drought in Bexar County. We need more rain. Now, looking ahead to the forecast, the next several days, hot through the next couple of days, and then on Saturday and Sunday, a chance for rain and a nice Labor Day on Monday. You can see that I put Spreester's last day on the forecast there for today. It is Steve Spreester's last day, and a familiar face to your screen is saying goodbye.
I am so honored to know you and to have worked with you. Do you remember this? That was one of the most challenging times of my life. And I can't imagine having gone through all of this with anyone else by my side but you. I'll always be grateful to you for helping me overcome the fear I had of having my fake eyelashes like pop off in the middle of the news or come halfway undone. And you, my dear friend, so loving and encouraging, promising me if I ever heard you say lashing out or coming unglued, I'd know to check my eyelashes. I love you, Spree.
I think you show up to work at a place for 30 years and you only have a matter of hours left at that place.
Yeah.
It becomes awkward. It becomes sad. It's a place that's been home to me for 30 years and a month now almost. I think we all, you see maybe the 3 or 4 of us out there on the set, but there's a whole team behind. And KSAT has been so great at the producers and the technical people and the directors and the sound people and the teleprompter. And it's just, they've done such a great job over the years. I'm going to miss those relationships. But the live events, the Spurs championships.
Sure.
The Fiesta, election night.
Steve, we're sad too. We're going to miss you too. Well, this week on Pickup Lines, our Ernie Zuniga spoke with longtime KSAT 12 News anchor, like you see here, Steve Spreester. It premieres at 5:30, where it plays at 7:30 this evening on the free KSAT Plus app, or you can also watch it on our website at ksat.com. Just search Pickup Lines. Your nominations for the SA Picks 2025 contest are in, and we asked you to choose San Antonio's top businesses, and you came through. So we received thousands of nominations across nearly 100 categories, and get this, more than 14,000 votes are in so far, so you can scan that QR code on your screen to see the finalists and go ahead and put your vote in by September 20th. And you can vote for each category once per day. We'll announce the winners in late September.
95 this afternoon with a small 20% chance for a stray shower. Hot tomorrow and Friday, near 100, but could that be our last 100-degree day of 2025? We'll have to wait and see, because we do see temperatures come back down over the weekend. Labor Day weekend, small chance for rain Saturday and Sunday, but Labor Day itself, it's trending dry, Stephanie.
That is good news, and we hope that's our last triple digit. But yes, you have Spreester's last day. Stay with us here on KSAT 12. We're going to be celebrating Steve all later in the evening newscast.
Yep, make sure you watch the 5-6 in his last show, The Night Beat. Have a great night, everybody.